Well, it is January the 9th, 2025. And I don't know if this is ever going to become video or not. But in case it is, I'll start. This, whoops. This here tub is coming out of here. And I'm going to take that there toilet and put it right here. In this corner, facing that away. Then that platform is coming out of here. This wall, whoopsie-doops, is coming out of here. And that shower stall is coming out of there. And I'm going to re-put that wall that has that toilet paper holder on it, as you can see there. If I tip this light up, it'll work. That wall will be coming out about another 8 or 10 inches, but this time going all the way to the floor. And I'm going to make a ceramic tile walk-in, no door shower in that corner. And with a shower panel with 6 massage jets and rain, I think they call it, up in the ceiling. Da-da-da-da-da. Biggest part that we're not seeing is going to be under the house for the plumbing, because I already took a look, and of course everything in this unco is in the way down there. So what I got to start at is this tub is sitting on those 1x4s. They're underneath the lid. The tub is sitting down on it. I couldn't have just dropped the tub in after I put that 1x4s on, because if I did, how'd that hook up the plumbing? The drain would have been easy. It would have went down through the floor. I went down in the crawl space and done it. But there's the hot and cold water right there. So in that wall behind that candle on the stinking is going to be where the plumbing hooks in. So I got to figure out how I'm going to start peeling these off so I can get that seat part removed where that candle is, and see what I can get at to get at that plumbing. I would not, I guarantee you there's not shut-offs underneath it. And I can't remember when I was under the house if I looked down to see if I went down through for the hot and cold or not. But I got to start peeling that off, and this front off. I got to save as much as I can, because from where you see that handle there on the tub, from there to the floor, when I take the tub out, I got to fill back in. And all the material that I'll be taking off of this wall here, I will be reusing to put back. Now I'll get that what's in there, and where this towel is hung up here, I'll get that. Now this is all hand nailed. I had no air guns when I done this 40 years ago. It's hand nailed onto drywall and down through the tongue, and I bet you I put the dabs of glue on each one of them as well, like construction adhesive. So it could be some fun ahead here. I'll start here at this. I'm thinking tomorrow. I'm going to have to destroy one to get it out. But you see, they go under this wall. And the tub here is sitting down on them. So, like I said, I don't know how I did it, but I done it. And now I gotta undo it. That's it for this round. Well, it's time to figure out what's going on. And now, I can pop these up. And see, they're under the tub. So I don't know how in the heck I got that plumbing done under there. I want to know in a little bit. It's not, these make no sense in trying to save these. They're not big enough or anything. Okay, I'm letting you see what I can't see. if I can get rid of these cobwebs. Over here, you'll see a hole in the floor. That's where the toilet used to be. And that's where we're putting it back at. Now I can move this up. I think you should be able to. I see something. I'm just watching the monitor on the camera, so I can't see much more. And I can't get my head down in here. I don't know what the heck I'm looking at there. But anyway, I can see there's the pipes. Here's the hot and cold from the shut-offs. And they're not going, well, I can't put my head down here. I only got about 6 or 8 inches. I think it's going down towards the other end of the tub. Okay, what I'm thinking now is I can't get my head down in here. It's too tight to get my head in. So I'm thinking the piping comes along here, under the tub, of course, on the side, and comes over to this sort of boxy thing on this end of the tub. I do know there's a lot of piping in there because the main water shut-off from under the house is just below there. And it comes up through the house, into the house here. Now if it goes into this closet, from there, or if it goes out through the wall in the kitchen area from there, I don't know. So now we're going to take this box off. Okay, we got this popped off, and there's, we can see the hot and cold going over to the hot and cold taps. And we got the drain down there. That black pipe coming up in the back is the main supply to the house. That's poly. Where in the hell is it? Where the water picks up for the rest of the house and everything, I don't know. But anyway, we'll shut her down from here until we can get more in there. This is more fun than I was expecting. Here's the hot and cold. That black one is the main line coming up from under the crawl space, going up into this wall. Where it goes from there, I have no idea. But as you can see, these hot and cold here go out through, and they're into this raised part of the floor that I'm on. Now in here we have a closet door. Closet door, there's a door that swings down. Now they come in through They go in through there, and now we're under this floor here. This floor is raised up about 7.5 inches. These two shutoffs here, I know, go to upstairs. Just below this floor, where these come through, they're teed into this. So these lines, this hot and cold water is coming from under the house, up through this, up through the main floor, and then up through this built up floor. And that's what we're looking at now. The tees are just underneath this floor. I got to cut all of that away to cap them off, because if I just cut them and capped them in here, they'll be out into the new renovation. So I wasn't going to touch this floor now, but I'm going to have to, in order to cut them off and cap them. You see cat whiskers coming in here now? Got an inspector cat here. What do you think, pussycat? I know you're going to be down there. That's for sure. You're going to come back full of cobwebs. So I'm going to have to take, let me stand up here. I'll back off a bit. Whoops, I just hit in the bucket. I'm going to have to cut this whole section of floor away and take out that little short wall here where the cat's covering it right now, and cap them off before I can lift the tub up out. Okay. That box is gone. Now remember, those two pipes go into this closet and teed off underneath this raised floor, which will eventually be coming out. But I wanted to do all the tub area first, put the new floor in over here, and do this after. So we got a working toilet downstairs as well. Now, what I got to do is I got to cap these two pipes off inside of this closet underneath that floor where you see the mouse shit. And this closet is staying here. So I'm going to have to take out this much of the floor now, I think. Cut this 2x6 off. I might have to cut some off this wall, and I can put it back and put a spline on the inside after. But I could just cut those two pipes here, cap them, take the tub out, then I can get in that area and reach in. But I'm still going to have to cut that out, so that's what I'm going to do now. What am I learning, you might say? Well, the box is gone. We know that. The two pipes on the left are going into a T right here. Too dark to see down there, I think. But anyway, there's two T's down there below these taps underneath this floor. So I cut this away, as you see. Now I can get at that inside one. I can spin a cutter on there, cap it, and sweat a new cap on it. The closest one, right here, I can't. That's this one. No, I can't. So I'm going to take off another couple rows of tiles across here. Now this cabinet is staying here. I got the big door off now, as you can see. This bottom strip is part of it, which will continue right down to the ground eventually, to the main floor. I'm going to cut this off right here after I skin these tiles off. I'm going to cut this off, this piece of 1x2. Hopefully I can lift that out, which will take this hinge with it, and then that's going to leave that whole area wide open, being easy peasy once I shut the water off and drain the lines. So that's what I'm going to do now, is chip those tiles out of there. Down in here now, you will see two capped pipes, one there, one here. They went over to the tub, remember? And now you might say, let me stand up here. They might say, what tub? I don't see no tub. I don't see no tub either. This is where the tub used to be. But she's a gonerd. So now I'm taking out what's left of the frame. I took the front frame off and slid the tub out. And I'm going to take off that bit you just saw over there by those caps. And this right here. Whoops. Okay, now I'm taking this out. Then I'm going to clean up that floor, get it as uniform level as I can, and then I'm going to put a sheet of 3/4, well, not a sheet, but I'm going to cover it with 3/4 plywood, because I got about 1 3/8 to 1.5 inches drop from this tiled floor. So I'm going to put a piece of plywood over that, and to build it up somewhat. And then I'm going to mix up the self-leveler compound and dump it on there and level her off perfectly with this tiled floor that's here. This tiled floor that's here, that will be chipped up later today. Where did I leave off? I don't know. Well, as you can see, the tiles are up. I got mats down here now. And as you can see here, I got this wall with the cedar taken off of it. And in here, these both walls have the cedar taken off of it. And I took out a piece of drywall here so I can see. I'm going to get in up there at the two lights that are over the vanity and run a wire over through to the new wall, which is where I am standing now. And I can put a light over in there, like between that cabinet to the left that you see protruding out there, at the bottom is taken off of. Between there and about halfway through the toilet will be the walkway going back into the shower, which will be about straight in the middle of the screen right there now, right where that cedar meets the drywall. This cabinet tip up. Whoops. This cabinet will come down out of here because the shower is coming out to about the middle of that door on the right. The shower will be 4 feet by 5 feet on the inside dimensions. And I think that's about it for the latest update. I didn't get any digital collection of me taking up the tiles, but I did this whole floor in about 15 minutes. Like I said in the beginning, this is not a DIY. This is not an instructional video. I don't get paid to do this, so I ain't giving away any of my secrets of how I do things. Yes, anyway, tip the camera back up. This is what I'm doing right now. This is going to be inside the shower. So I'm skinning off that cedar in there. I got that much done. I'm saving it because I need a lot of it to go back on, for instance, this wall right here after I move it out, and I got to do where the tub came out. So that's what I'm doing now. I got the top half done, and I'm skinning the rest of it off. I got to finish that wall, do that back wall, and this wall right here. That light ain't very friggin' bright. I'm not sure where I last left off, but in any case, here's the floor leveled off underneath where the tub was. That's what it was. And here is the timer switch. It's got 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or permanent on. That's the fan. Of course, there's a whole cover for it. And that little black pipe you see there in the corner coming up, that's where the water will come up through for the toilet. There's where the toilet flange goes, that big black one in the bottom of the screen. And that there is a GFI wall plug to where the toilet will plug in. The dream for today now is to fill in the missing cedar pieces. I want to do that left wall above and around the switch and that fan, right down to the cement there, and across there. I won't worry about anything on this corner here yet, because this whole platform here got to come out. So I'm only going to do as far as I can right there. This is what your dining room table looks like when you have it set up for construction. This is the result of a trip or two out to the mechanical room, aka forklift room, which is my little workshop now. And this is what I've been gathering. This is cedar pieces that I removed from the two walls around the shower stall. That's what I'm going to be cutting up shortly to put back on there. The next day, this is what she looks like. That's as far as I'm going. Well, for not going, but as far as I'm going for this section. Next is to, as I said before, tear all this out here in the shower there. And that cabinet up there comes down and goes back over here somewhere. And then I will continue on. I just finished this just a bit ago. And you never know it was done. That's where the toilet's going. I had two little patches, two little spots I needed to, had a little low spot when I went around with the level. That's why you see that wet cement there. Alright, that's it for now on this part. Do you remember what was on the wall behind the toilet? Well, it was this guy up here. And now he's sitting over there in the corner above the wet sink. They were made 20 years apart. They looked like a perfect match, that they were made for each other, weren't they?